Computer. Hey, welcome to our Monday Mastery Call. We forgot to start the recording, and I'm going to do a really quick summary. Lauren had an incredible event. She called it Tips and
Treats.
Tips and Treats, and she had an event. She had 7 people show up at her home. I think 7 is the number, and 6 of them were either interested in product or in joining her team. And so she did something really smart. She got right back to them within 24 hours or so to give them the sites that she promised to give them, which for the customers, it was Healthy Living Revolution. And she also included instructions on downloading the book. Yay. And then she also guided them to the Freedom Revolution for those people a little bit more interested in the business. And then I asked the question, what else could we do? And Erin popped up and said, well, I always like to do by phone first and really get back to talking to people. And then we learned that when the people left, they filled out, how do you like to be contacted most? The questionnaire gave them the choice of email or cell number. My suggestion is just to go with cell number because people look at texts. They don't look at email. So you don't want to give them that choice because then they will put in their cell number. And I'm curious, Lauren, do you have all those people's cell numbers?
All but one.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you can even, and so now you can switch it back over to texting. And especially for, even my age, I'm almost 70. I prefer texting over email. I just seem to miss my email. I look at my texts all the time, all day long. And if you're 20-something, you're looking at your texts all day long. Addicted. We're all addicted. So the next thing would be, and then the call to action at the end of Lauren's little letter, and I hope this is okay, Lauren, that we're using you because this is the perfect example, right? Lauren said, if you have any questions or need any info, let me know. And then I went on to say, more than likely, they won't call you back. They just don't. We could get lucky here. Like we could get really lucky and they will. So we need a call to action that is a question which makes them answer it, even if you're doing it by text, which is, what did you like best about the evening? What made the most sense to you? What resonated with you about the evening? And you do it by text so that they answer. So that's the first thing. If we're going to do any texting, I like to just do the phone call too. But I have to tell you, I have some youngers, as I call them, that only text everything. I don't even know how they build their business, but they literally text everything back and forth and get customers that way. For me, it seems like it's a conversation on the phone to convert them from just looking at Juice Plus to saying, I'm so attracted to this, I can't wait to get started.
Yeah.
And by the way, I didn't announce on the call that we are on skill number 4, which is follow-up. And it was perfect that Lauren is brand new in the business, did her first event. Her flyer was awesome. I love the title. She had 6 guests there. Lauren, really, you just need to celebrate that alone. And then the next pieces we'll take care of and fall in place and you'll learn. But really, I'm just absolutely thrilled that you followed through and got those people there.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yay, drum roll. Really makes a big difference. So, and you were brave enough to invite. And you said you were really nervous before the event and it all went fine. So for those of you that haven't done your own event, it's going to go fine. It really is. You need to invite your friends to your house. And again, I love tips and treats. And so what did you serve for your treats?
We did, in the beginning, we had chips with salsa. And in the salsa, we had beans and corn just to add more nutrition. We had kale chips, and then we did carrots and hummus and walnuts.
Great.
And after the talk, we did different treats with the complete powder. So we did a bunch of different protein shakes, some that added fruit and other things. And then we did the pumpkin spice energy bites and the chocolate cookie bites.
So first of all, let's go back to what you served because I just want to also acknowledge you. It sounds like what you served was pretty doggone easy. Salsa and chips, but you added the extra beans and corn for nutrition. And hopefully you made a comment about that to your people, tips and treats, right? You did. And then even the other things, the walnuts, the carrots, the hummus, all things super simple. Anybody could pretty much do what you did. And then I don't know how many different flavors of balls that you have, and I think it's really cool. But if you had a lot, my suggestion would be to trim it down just so that the next person that's going to do it themselves doesn't think, oh my God, I have to make 4 different, and I don't know how many you served, but I have 4 different flavors of balls. It could just be one flavor.
Yeah.
and 2 shakers of drink, one with fruit, one without, or whatever. And the whole point of keeping it simple is so that when they walk away, they go, oh, I could do an event like that. That didn't take a whole lot of planning. Worst case, I got to clean my house.
Yeah.
So, right. So we want to keep it super simple like that. So anything else? Erin, do you have anything to add? I'm looking to you because I just think you're brilliant around this business.
Since we were talking about Lauren's event, I did want to bring up a point. It was neat because we always talk about the 4 doors and part of it being our culture and community. It was so evident that everybody was there to support Lauren and because they loved her. So I told them, that's what this is all about. It's all about a community. So it was really neat to be able to bring that and make that one of the awarenesses of why they were there.
Yeah. And I try to use the 4 doors also in some way of conversation of who we are. And for those of you that aren't clear what the 4 doorways are, is that we really offer physical health through our Juice Plus powders and omegas and all of that, including Tower Garden. We offer community. Some people are in this. I have somebody that comes to every event we've had, and he has not gotten one customer. He is dying for community, and my hope is that it will shift for him and he'll start to be able to be free enough and brave enough to invite people to actually look at our Juice Plus products. But I know we're serving him so well. And the third thing that people come in for is personal growth. I've had people join just because of the personal growth. They've watched other people and they see what happens. And the last one, of course, is a financial growth, some sort of financial improvement. So those are the 4 doorways for those of you that might not realize that. Okay, so Erin, getting back to you. What else could we tell Lauren how she's going to follow up? What other hints could we give her?
I really like to ask people, I've been using the verbiage shifting because I've been in the business a little while, as I like to say. What did you connect with most? Because what I'm really diving in with is if I can't identify with what people are connecting with, I'm never going to help to get it into their body and know why they want to keep it in their body. So I've been working on using that verbiage more. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's other things that I'm a little scattered today, so I apologize.
No, you just made me think of something, and that is that if you're trying to move them forward, is the great question to actually get them to think about what they would like to see Juice Plus do is simply say in a text or on phone, I prefer phone, is to say, if you could have any 3 things that would change in your health, what would those 3 things be? What are you looking for? And then they say better digestion, better so-and-so, better so-and-so. Let them say it out loud again. And then you get back to say, oh my gosh, that's some of the number 1 things we have. It sounds like this is a match for you. If this could make those changes for you, and again, you can't promise it, but you've seen it time and time again, are you ready to get started? Let them say what they're looking for and connect what they're looking for specifically back to Juice Plus. And I'm running out of batteries. I'm going to go get my cord. I will be right back. Somebody else, help.
Erin, I love what you say. I would love to know, when you welcome your guest in an event like this, what do you say?
I like to start with a question. I do a little pre-framing before people get there with my team or whoever is coming, so that I have in my head a bio, a little bit about the person, what their needs might be, so I can keep an eye out for that, kind of as if it's a blind date situation. And then when everybody's there, I like to ask, I like to start with a question, and I'll joke and I'll say, who kidnapped you and brought you here today, And maybe it wasn't a person, but maybe it was a concern that you have or a need that you have that really brought you here today, which kind of just rips their story right out of them, right? I mean, maybe that's not, it has them voice their story immediately. So then I will kind of tailor the presentation around those few things those people had said that their health concern was or what brought them there. And if it was somebody who says, oh, it's one of my friends brought me here, and I'm like, you're so lucky to have such a good friend who cares about you so much,
Awesome. Thank you.
That sounded like a great answer to how you dealt with people right at the event.
Yeah, and I like that you just straight up ask what brought you here and get that picture of what they're looking for.
And it breaks the ice if somebody bribed them with something. It's okay. I don't mind. I like to sprinkle it with laughter because why not? You just have to. I hear Jay Martin, if you can't make them laugh, you can't make them buy. So
Yeah. I want to do a screen share with you for a moment. It just disappeared. Hold on. Let me try again. And I want to direct you to the Freedom Revolution, because there's going to be incredible, incredible changes coming down the pike for the Freedom Revolution. A really quick onboarding guide that's going to be super quick, meaning it's really directed to brand new people. What do we do to get them started? How do we keep it super simple? And of course, for me, that means helping them get signed up, attracting at least 2 other people to complete the HLP, or 1 other person, but with the 500 points, and get the $100 bonus, because we want to give them a good experience. And we don't need to load them down with a ton of information. But I just want to point out to you a couple things on here on the Getting Started tab. Hopefully the blue line won't take very long. Notice it looks different. It just looks way different. It's cleaner looking. But if you go down here, you will see the art of follow-up. And there's just a quick 6-minute message from Andrea Bone on follow-up. My suggestion is everybody take a look at that and start being very aware of this website, because pretty soon our Getting Started is going to have a 1-page checklist for the most simple things to do. And then followed up by I know, I'm very excited, followed up by something that really details all the rules, but the brand new person doesn't need that. So the brand new person just needs to know how to do If I Would You, and attract a couple of customers and friends. And that's really all that they need to do at the very, very beginning. So I'm really looking forward to that. So stay tuned for the Freedom Revolution. And it will also be on, the Freedom Revolution will now be will be on our virtual office. Healthy Living Revolution will soon be on our virtual office, which means that you can just go to your one spot virtual office and click on Freedom Revolution or click on Healthy Living Revolution. You don't have to go to 3 separate sites. It's all going to be on one site. Pretty exciting. I'm not sure I was supposed to tell that, but I did. So, all right. Is there any other questions this morning?
Well, I have a question, because Lauren has already followed up with everybody who is there. And then she's going to work on today and following up with all the maybes who didn't make it. But then I know she also needs to follow up with the people who couldn't make it flat out. So she's kind of working her way down. But how, for those who didn't make it, what I had told her is just, send them either text or that to say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry you couldn't make it. We had a fantastic time. And ask if they're open for her sharing information with them on what they learned.
Absolutely. Just that whole idea that I'm so sorry you didn't make it. We had so much fun and we really missed you being there. Genuinely, you have a party and you want your friends to be there, right? So sorry you didn't make it. And the same one would go out to the maybes as those that said no. Oh, well, except for the sentence, you wouldn't say sorry. Yeah, you'd say sorry you couldn't make it. For those that didn't come, and the maybes. You don't have to have separate things. It's they didn't come. So sorry you couldn't make it. We had so much fun. We learned a ton. We ate great food together, answered lots of questions. Are you open to hearing a little bit about what we learned that night? Because I can find a video that might be helpful for you. And they say,
would you go into detail about finding out what needs they have as far as
that would be the next question. Can I send you a video? They say yes. And the next question is, if you had a couple health concerns, what would you be looking for most? What would be most important to you to improve your health in? Because we have such a great library of videos. I want to make sure I get one to you that speaks to you personally. So let's get back to the people that did show up. I would say within the next 24, 48 hours, there's another follow-up for you, Lauren, and that is, hope you had a chance to look at the Freedom Revolution, or hope you had a chance to whatever. I'd love to connect with you to find out what it is that you liked most. What did you see that you liked? See if you can't set up, for the people that were interested in the business portion, get them on a 3-way with Chris or I immediately. That's the next step for them. And for those that were interested in the product, would love to hear what you resonated most, what how you connected to the products, whatever words that you want to use. But you want to do that within 24 to 40, right away.
Okay.
And I think that's a big piece where I've always not been as strong as I could, is asking for the sale and say, are you ready to get started? I think Erin just said that, as saying, where are you? Are you ready to get started? Or
yeah. And mine has always been, are you ready to experience the next 4 months and really see what, great nutrition does for your body? I love to use the word experience.
I like that.
Experience for 4 months. Get started and see what dense nutrition does for your body. See how it feels. So Erin, did you want to say something?
Oh, I just love the fact that we're coming into cold and flu season. So I use that mid-March, spring break, because then I focus on like summertime health. And I like to ask people, today I asked a doctor, so would you like to get started and really just have a positive impact coming into cold and flu season?
What a great thing, by the way. And I think that's true for everybody, is to actually ask that question. How would you like to go through cold and flu season and not take part? I love that. Just don't take part in that. So I love that. All right.
Nikki, is there a way, you had shared that some youngers do everything text, get people signed up and whatnot. If you have any youngers who not only do that, but they have really good retention with their customers, would there be a way that we could maybe get a box out or learn a little bit more about that?
Well, the one person I know that does that is Jake. She just doesn't do anything over the phone, and she's sent out scripts a million times, and I've tried them, and I don't know if it's the people that she attracts because they only do things by texting, but I've used her scripts, and for me, they did not work.
Right.
So I think it's knowing your audience.
Good point. Thank you.
I wish anyway. All right, we're good to go. Thank you all so much for being on the call today. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, we are having, I should know this, who's on our call Tuesday night. Oh, Jennifer Tanman, who we did see in Leavenworth, and she's going to talk about the funnel. And there are some really amazing numbers that you've never heard, the way she goes through it, that tells you really how many people a month you have to talk to end up with 4 reps. And it's really cool. So you're going to want to be on Tuesday night's call, 6 p.m.
Thanks, Nikki.
All right, everybody, have a great week, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow night.
All right. Thank you so much.